Hey, what's up? Just making a quick video here. Now, this one is specifically about a question that was asked with regards to the wooden dummy. A lot of people have this misconception about Wing Chun in general and, our training ways. So, before I answer that question with regards to the wooden dummy, I would pose the question, what is a punching bag good for? What is a person in Thailand kicking trees good for? What is holding mitts for somebody punching good for? And things of that nature. So when you ask a question about something, you want to make sure that you get the full scope and understanding, because if, let's say, I came across asking a boxer, well, what do you use the punching bag for? And what's that big uppercut eye drop bag for? How much are you going to actually get from that, right? I would sound like an anus by asking stupid questions like that without delving into why it was created to begin with. Now, we know that a boxing bag is great, even a Muay Thai bag, it's great for punching, kicking, elbow, knees. And what you get out of that is conditioning. What you get out of that is discipline. What you get out of that is cardio. What you get out of that is a workout that, if you don't have anybody to work out with, that will be the best type of workout to get your impacts in, to understand how you can actually move, and how a good hook might be different, from a distance, or it might be good from close. The eye drop bag, I call it the eye drop bag, the uppercut bag, sitting on that leg and boom, hitting it, and feeling that buoyancy that ripples across the bag. And so, I can give you a million reasons for the mitts and all the other stuff. Now, I like to ask questions, and I like when people ask me questions. What I don't like is to be questioned. Now, with regards to the wooden dummy, for example, number one, there's a form. Now, nobody on planet Earth knows or thinks that you have to fight exactly how the form is done. There's 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, all the way to 11 sets in the wooden dummy. So I wouldn't imagine that we would have to fight exactly like the form. The form is there just for structure. There are guidelines, there are rails. So when you actually learn it, and then when you actually apply it into your sparring, you'll get to see that maybe you'll use one thing out of the wooden dummy out of the hundreds of things that come off of it. But the important part here is practice, practice, practice. So what do you get out of the wooden dummy? Well, you have a form that has a structure that is made for fighting. You may only use one thing, literally one thing. Or you might be able to use multiple things, depending on your skill set or depending on the fight itself. Because a fight is not pre-planned, other than when you go into a cage, no one is choreographing how the shots are going to come and how they're going to be executed. So with the wooden dummy, you are going to condition yourself. You can hit the dummy. A lot of people put pads around it so that it's like a punching bag. Those two wood that come out, they're representing arms, and then there's one in the center, and then there's one beneath, and that's for kicking. So again, you would be able to use the wooden dummy. It's kind of like this, and they represent the arms of an individual. So when I'm using the dummy, I'm not going to be going through this dummy, that's for sure. Now, if you get a wooden dummy that's made out of teak wood, that's basically like steel. So you're not going to go through it. So what it teaches you is to go around it, to use your footwork, to go in different angles. Now, when you hit that dummy, when I'm pairing it, or we call it paksao, we're conditioning our hands. We're conditioning to cover and attack simultaneously. We're conditioning our mindset to know that, again, I'm not going to break through this teak wood. I have to go around it. And yes, there is conditioning, when you're hitting it with your forearm, when you're hitting it with your hands, when you're hitting it with your palms, your knuckles. your elbows. Yes, there's conditioning. Yes, there's a form. Yes, it's all of these things. And it's getting into position and moving and angulation. So when I hear people who ask, and they ask it facetiously and sarcastically, what is a wooden dummy good for? I would just say, well, what do you use to train and what is that good for? What is shadow boxing good for? Looking in a mirror or not looking in the mirror? What is a punching bag good for? What is a speed bag good for? Right? If we're going to ask a question stupid like that for one martial art, then we have to kind of look at everything and say, well, what is this good for? And what is this good for? And what is this good for? And I can ask the same question, well, what is that good for? And you would have to be on the other side answering objectively what you use it for. I could use this wall right here and it would be good for conditioning for me. I can use a chair and I might use it to pick up a hook shot with my leg. I might use it to do dips. What is it good for me? You see, all of these things are just training apparatus. They're tools to help sharpen our weaponry. So again, for people who want to know what the wooden dummy is good for, I hope I gave detailed information about what it is good for. But I think the better question that you should ask is, what are any of these things good for? And the primary answer should be for your development, for the betterment of you. What makes you a better and more prepared and stronger and faster and more efficient fighter? So we need to stop all of this mumbo jumbo about what this art is and what this art is and when you use this and when you don't use that. Don't worry about all that nonsense. All you need to do is worry about what for you is good and works. And so with regards to the wooden dummy, for martial artists who train in Wing Chun, there is a complete paradigm shift when it comes to how we use what we use as tools with regards to the rest of the martial arts community. And so I would say, before asking dumb questions, if you're asking honestly, then I gave you an honest answer. If you're asking facetiously, and if you're asking because you think you know it all, or if you're asking because your martial arts is the best martial arts ever, then you're not a martial artist. You're someone of a practitioner, going into an art that you happen to like. I assimilate to all martial arts. And when I use the word assimilate, I literally mean I assimilate to all martial arts. Because even in a real fight, you have no idea what you're gonna use. What you're gonna use is what you do every day. And so whatever it is that you've been training for, whatever it is that has been working, that you've adapted to, and it actually works for you, then that's yours. Okay, so you take martial arts, it's like geography is not going to be better than math, and math is not going to be better than language arts, and language arts is not going to be better than history. Why don't we take the whole thing and let's combine the things together that we learn and know, and then that is what we apply. We can all read a book, and from that book we might have 100 people that read that book, and 100 people might extrapolate 100 different things. And so when you look at martial arts, don't be so narrow-minded. Yes, I am a Wing Chun practitioner with regards to what I've been doing my whole life. But first and foremost, I'm just a martial artist who continues to grow by appending onto everything that I've learned into my martial arts. And that is what I espouse, and that is what I teach my students. So I hope this answers your question with regards to what is the wooden dummy and what does it do. If it's not detailed enough for you, aside from the rant that I just went for 10 minutes, you can DM me, you can text me, you can call me, you can email me, and you can tell me what it is that you don't fully understand about the wooden dummy. All right? In that sense, let's just pretend that the question was sincere, and if it was sincere, I think I gave you a definitive answer as to what not only the wooden dummy is good for, but what any other apparatus when it comes to martial arts that helps conditioning and everything else for your fight game. I hope that I answered that question. All right, so looking forward to hearing from you guys. Like always, Peace.